In the series with a future up-and-coming MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a perennial all-star to star caliber player in Ja Morant. It is the third or fourth year player of Jalen Williams, who has turned out to be the best player in this series. And I've been high on Jalen Williams. I've made a couple videos on the channel before, and today I really want to get into why Jalen Williams, I think in some ways, really determines how far this Thunder team can go, because Shai, quite frankly, offensively has had a very poor series. And let's just get right into it. The first thing we got to talk about is J-Dub scoring, right? Again, always here, always fighting. This dude is like, again, he's going down there with centers and Ja, right? He gets the ball, Ja jumps past him, Edey commits to the right. So again, J-Dub in the situational awareness I can go left and I can still get off what I need to get off. And again, Hartenstein rejects the screen, right? J-Dub does a great job here. And you're like, well, Emster, why is it so great? Because an important part about basketball and the ability of, passing and playmaking and even throwing off defenses is your eyes. They talk about that in like the NFL. A quarterback will like stare down a wide receiver, and some cornerbacks will notice that and pick off the ball because they see where it's going. So when you're J-Dub, right, you're giving Jaren Jackson this idea of, hey, I could pass it to, this cutting Hartenstein. You've got to stay there, right? So that at that point, he's got the man on his side. And again, J-Dub's able to stop and pull up on a dime. And again, J-Dub, this is just, again, smart, great ball position, right? And J-Dub's going to do what he needs to do to get you, a win. And again, does a great job. He gets the man off the dribble, right? He gets Luke Kennard, right? Immediately spaces out. Now he's got Kennard stuck on him. Pumps, goes, gets a little fade. And again, I think J-Dub as a scorer is obviously meant to be a number 2 to number 3 option, right? Like, no doubt about it. But this series, he's arguably been the number 1, just in terms of you've got the efficiencies there. He's still giving you, I think, like he's averaging about 25 for the series, like 23, 24. So he's still giving you, compared to his regular season production, it's still higher at a pretty efficient rate. The 3-ball, it's struggled a little bit, but again, like, he's doing way more than he's asked to, because on some of these nights, he's the best offensive player on the team. Like, again, J-Dub does a great job, slows down. Hartenstein does a great job getting that screen over. Ja can't come over. Now, again, you're fighting in a 10-point game. You're down 29. J-Dub is not giving up on that, right? Catch and shoot. The defense still respects Shai, which is fantastic. But J-Dub is making them pay for, in some ways, Shai's getting that, the reputation defense, because he hasn't played quite well. And again, great job, gets the ball at the J-Dub, slams it in, right? This is just what J-Dub is going to do when you need him. You're in an 11-point game. Things are getting tight. You got Santi Aldama, right? And Aldama's basically, again, J-Dub is a guy who likes to drive and get downhill, and he's good at it, right? So Luke goes, okay, hold on, I got to go and catch back up. Santi Aldama's all the way back here. J-Dub's like, I can still shoot it. So again, I think the timeliness and needed scoring from J-Dub has shown. I think if whoever they play in that second round, if it's the Nuggets or if it's the Clippers, if J-Dub's scoring falls off a cliff or comes down to 17-18, the Thunder they could be in some real trouble, guys. They really could. I think now, does he have to say this 25? No, I think he's got to come down to like a 22-20. Like, he's got to make the Clippers really, really respect him. And then I want to talk about him as a defender, because I think he's become underrated in the league. And I do think some people understand J-Dub as a good defender, but I don't think we remember there was a good 3-week stretch in the beginning, the middle half of the season. J-Dub got put to be the center because there's no iHeart. Chet had sustained his injury that took him out for most of the year, or not most of the year, but that first half of the season practically. And that is what they ended up coming out to, right? And I think we're going to see this here, right? Edey's rolling. He's like, I got it. A bit of a tough pass there by Bane, right? But again, Jalen Williams does a great job. He goes up with Edey, disrupts the catch, and disrupts the moment. and then is able to get the steal, and they start pushing into transition. And again, J-Dub does a good job. He's a great help guy. Like, this is just awesome defense, right? He sticks with Kennard. He waits because, right, he recognizes Kennard trying to do the screen. J-Dub literally is running parallel to Kennard. They try and get that dump off, and he's able to stop and reject it. And that's in the clutch. That's in, again, a big moment. I believe J-Dub's defense has become somewhat underrated. Now, I'm sure Thunder fans are going to come in here and tell me, no, we know. And I agree. You all would probably know. And I know because I like J-Dub. But this guy has played, like, really, really good defense consistently. Like, can he consistently guard a 5? No. I mean, he's 6'5". I would hope you're not having him do that. But the idea is for like one possession or something, it's not like, oh my God, we gotta find a way. We gotta work around J-Dub, man. We gotta get an active switch. If we don't switch right here, we're absolutely done. You can get away with a possession or two of it because J-Dub is a good enough defender. And again, I don't think that's going to change regardless of the series. I think J-Dub's always going to give 110%, and that's always going to be a big part of this Thunder team. But then I want to talk a little bit about J-Dub, the passer and facilitator, which would be important because if SGA has a bit of off-night scoring, someone else has to be able to be that secondary ball handler and facilitator. Because being that secondary playmaker and facilitator is important for any top player in the league. Right? Even a number one. J-Dub gets the easy, little trailer, right? And then again, I think J-Dub, that's where he gets a little underrated. I think he's a good secondary ball handler. Again, you get Santi, you break it down. Does a great job, right? Once Edey jumps, he goes, oh, well, that's nice and simple. Again, that's important to not have to make Shea always be the one that's doing that, right? Mind you now, we're in the clutch, right? We're in an 11-point game, the fourth quarter, right? Every bucket here matters. J-Dub, great job, again, bringing over Jaren, right? Again, because his eyes and his head, right, are showing like, I'm looking at the rim. I want to drive. Edey's got to help, with Hartenstein. Scottie Pippen Jr. stuck at his side, so Jaren's like, I got to go over and help. But there's Caruso, catch and shoot, wide open 3. And again, that's the importance of when these things matter, man. Like, able to stop. Gets it out, over, one more. I don't... This isn't even J-Dub's assist. Freaking NBA.com, man, sometimes. Okay. But now you're starting to run it up, right? But either way, you need to be able to have someone else that can take care of some of these responsibilities. And it's looking more and more like J-Dub is emerging as the legitimate Robin to the Batman that is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I think if he's able to maintain this, the Thunder are going to be real dangerous. Because I think Shai's going to come back. Like, I don't know if he's going to be as poor as he is now. Now, if he stays that way, this team is cooked either way. But J-Dub is doing his part, and I am loving every second of it. So let me know what you guys think down below about what J-Dub's doing. I think he's playing his ass off, quite frankly, and he's being the best player in the series with Ja and SGA. So as always, guys, this was Mr. No Hoops. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.